moksha kama udaradi. Krishna says, I don't know what Krishna says, but this verse is there, that even if you have material desire, full of desire, full of sarva kama, or if you don't have any desire, and you come to Krishna, He will give you even material things. It's not that Krishna only gives bhakti, but if you nag him material things, He'll give you. Just like a child, if you go to the supermarket with parents, they nag it for chocolate or some lolly. They nag him. The parents, okay, have it. Say, no, take me to the temple. I want to see Radha Vallabha. I want to associate with devotees. I want to sit down with devotee, take prasharam. Not every kid will ask you that. Only good kid, a devotee kid, isn't it? So Lord Shiva, Ashutosh, very pleased. I love people like that, so easily pleased. They're always happy. Every time you see him, he's full of the wealth, so much wealth. Usually, you see people with a lot of wealth and a nice car and home. They tend to be very proud. But Lord Shiva has all of that. He's the owner of a planet. But he is living under a tree. He's chanting Hare Krishna mantra, playing the dundubi. That's the great quality of a sadhu. They're not attached to things even. They know underneath it's all Krishna's. Krishna didn't say, it's all mine, give it to me. You only have it for temporary. You're a rascal. No, he didn't do that. Krishna is very respectful. You want it, you have it. Even though it's temporary, you can still have it. You can enjoy it. Time's up, you have to leave it. But doesn't mean he takes it away by force. That's your karma. But you can still have it in the next life. But you have to deserve it. That's the verdict of the Bhagavatam. We are different. We say, give it to me, it's mine. But Krishna is never like that. He's very fair. They even have a company called Fairness. But because we are not fair. People have to protest in the street against government because they're not fair. But Krishna is very fair. So, Lord Shiva was very attractive. You go to any Indian home, they have Lord Shiva, picture of Lord Shiva, and Ganesh. Ganesh is son of Shiva. Even I remember I was a small kid, I wanted to have like Lord Shiva, a picture of Lord Shiva, and not so much Ganesh. I didn't like he had the head of an elephant. He's not very beautiful. But Lord Shiva, he looks very handsome and very strong, almost like looking like Krishna. And somebody said that there is a way you actually can see him. They do a particular type of austerity, you can actually meet Lord Shiva. So there was, there was one devotee, he did austerities for 3 days, 3 nights. And there's a way to please him, and he will actually see you. So that no eating anything or drinking, almost like a Nirjala Ekadashi, for 3 days, 3 nights. That's a pretty long time. We find it in 1 night, but he did it for 3 nights. And the third night, middle of the third night, Lord Shiva will come. So he had a picture of Lord Shiva, and he was meditating on Lord Shiva and praying. Third night, the glass broke. From the picture of Lord Shiva, the glass actually smashed. And a stone came out from the glass. So that stone is called touchstone, because he wanted material things. So if you touch anything metal, it'll turn into gold. Every person wants that. So you don't have to work, you can make your own gold. So then, he had to stand on a toe for 3 days, 3 nights. The third night, his toe was bent. Even now, his toe is bent because he stood up for 3 days, 3 nights on his toe. But then he got that touchstone. Then he joined the temple of ISKCON, and he was not very happy with all the gold and stuff. He didn't tell people how much gold he had, otherwise the dacoits will come. So he's keeping it very secret. But he was, he had all this money, but he was very unhappy. So then he came to ISKCON, and he heard a class like I'm giving. And the first thing he heard is to give up all the material things. And very logical, what Krishna said. He gave it all up, and he threw the stone into Ganga. And this is the same thing. There's a story of a person came to Sanatana Goswami. He also has a stone, touchstone, and he was keeping it in the garbage. Something very valuable, you don't keep it in the garbage. You keep it in a more safe place, in a bank or somewhere safe in a home, locking it in a safe place. He had it in the garbage. So he said, I heard you have a touchstone. Can I have it? Where is it? Oh, it's in the garbage. And he went through the garbage and he got the touchstone. And he was on his way home, and he thought to himself, how can he keep this touchstone? It's so valuable, keep in the garbage. So he went back and asked him, why did you keep this valuable stone in the garbage? You should keep it in a safe place. You must have something better. He says, I do. But if you want that better thing than the touchstone, you have to throw that in the Jamuna. Because this was at the bank of the Jamuna in Vrindavan. So he threw it away. He said, you sit down here under this tulsi plant, shave up your head, chant Hare Krishna. And you'll get that. That's called love of God, Krishna Prem. And he did that. We haven't got Krishna Prem yet. But we are after it. We are in the beginning stage. So don't be discouraged. Oh, I haven't got Krishna Prem. I'm chanting japa for 50 years. I'm a devotee for 50 years. I'm not rolling in the ground with tears in the eyes. Those are the symptoms of a person who has Krishna Prem. Even if I do, I'm not going to reveal to you. That's making it very cheap. Prabhupada had it. Krishna Prem. But he didn't exhibit to the people because they'll take him cheaply. Or they start to imitate themselves. Prabhupada sometimes, when he used to look at the deity, and he'd be crying. He didn't like tears flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, but his eyes were damp with water. You can see it. Or sometimes when he's singing Jai Radha Madhava, he starts crying. We don't cry because our heart is still hard like a rock. I remember in Vrindavan, before Krishna Balar Mandir, before the Samadhi, Prabhupada Samadhi, just in front of the Prabhupada Samadhi, they had a well. You know that? That well water is so sweet. Because in India, especially Vrindavan, you can't just drink any water, it will make sick. But that well water was so sweet. So we used to drink that water. And then on top of the well, there was a big slab of rock, stone, for protecting from dust to go in. I don't know where it is from. So they're making Prabhupada Samadhi. So they want to get rid of the well and break that stone. And so they got the Indian laborers. They take months to break the stone. They have a little thing, they got they're like 6 months. So they said, oh, they got me and a couple other boys from Gurukul. We broke it in 3 days. Because we had big hammer and we were just going for it. Smashed it in 3 days. We loved it because we didn't have to go to class. So, like that, our heart is like that a rock. If you want to smash it and make it quick, only way you can soften it by chanting Hare Krishna. And we have to be happy what we do. We have to chant Hare Krishna, like Ashutosh, like Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee. He's an owner of a planet. But yet he's so happy because he has Krishna. You can be surrounded by wealth, bank balance, family, job. All these things cannot make you happy. You know, sometimes people, elderly people, they go to the bank every day and they're checking the balance, checks and balance. How many people are like 70, 80, 90 years old? They're going to cop it any day, but they're still thinking how much I have. All the money is going to be here. So Lord Shiva was so satisfied. He doesn't want anything in return. He's satisfied by chanting the name of Ram, by chanting the name of Krishna. We could see, that's why Srila Prabhupada gave us the program. We can sit here every day in the morning program, wherever, home, for 1 hour, 2 hours. You don't get tired because you're so satisfied chanting Hare Krishna. Ananda this Anandam Buddhi Bardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Swadanam. This Ananda, this transcendental release is there in the holy name. You can sit for hours. Who can, early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, sit for hours, 2 hours, chanting japa? Because there's Ananda, there's happiness in the chanting. If you're not satisfied with chanting Hare Krishna, in the kirtan, reading Prabhupada's books, taking prasadam, associating devotees, what is going to make you satisfied? Material thing cannot satisfy you. But like it is said, you have to jump into it. Prabhupada also gave the example of a honey jar. You can look at it. Ah, very nice honey. Australian honey. You can lick the jar outside it. You can look at it. But unless you open the jar and drink the honey, you will never know what is honey. Right? So Srila Prabhupada, he gave us the program. Chanting Hare Krishna, associate with devotees. And be ashutosh like Lord Shiva, be happy. Shushukam kartam abhayam. Krishna says, perform service to Krishna with happiness, with joyfully performed. I got to do it again. Oh, this devotee gave me trouble. Oh, this, that. You can go on finding hardship for yourself. This material world we're living in. You have to aspire to serve Krishna. You have to dive into the nectar of Krishna consciousness. Right now in Melbourne it's so cold. I stayed in the ashram last night. It was not easy. And so cold, you have to go from the ashram room to the toilet and it's freezing cold. Not that cold yet, but wait till July. But we do it because tapo divyam, it says the human being is meant to perform austerity for the higher cause, to serve Krishna. That's what it takes to surrender. That's what it takes to persevere, a little bit of austerity, so you can serve Krishna, because that's what gives the real pleasure. It's only external. The cold is only external. Once we take in a shower, and not that 50 years ago, there was no hot water. We had to take a cold shower. And you hear stories in the Lilamrita. They had to break the ice to get the water out in the UK and America. Also in Mayapur, we didn't have to worry about having that much cold. It never was that cold. Yet, devotees do it. Because they have a higher taste. They enjoy chanting Hare Krishna because that taste, spiritual happiness is beyond anything material can offer. Sense enjoyment. But like it says, you have to be satisfied with it. Satisfaction. Ashutosh. Before I was initiated, my name was connected to Lord Shiva. Also like an Ashutosh. Very easily pleased. But I was never pleased. I always want this, want that. Nagging my parents. Sometime my parents were more unhappy than me. So when I came to Australia, my mother was nagging me every time I went to Mayapur. Give me this, give me that, bring me this from Australia, take me there. I said, you're not stepping out of Mayapur. You're staying in the Holy Dham. And every time I left Mayapur, she would be crying all day because she knows that I'm not going to be there, I'm coming here. So she was happy, but then her dissatisfaction is much more deeper, spiritual dissatisfaction. I stayed there 10 days. He said, you're not staying in the guest room, you're staying with me. I said, okay. 10 days? I said, maybe 2 days, because it's nag you too much. Give me this, give me that. But she was happy to just be with me, or I was happy being with her. He didn't have much in the room. Small room, just my mother was living alone. A small room, simple thing. I bought some stuff. And then I said, open your trunk. So she opened the box, the trunk. In India they call it trunk. And then she had stuff in there like I gave her 10 years ago. She didn't even use it. Like a sari, a gamsha or something. She didn't even use it. So devotees, they don't need so much to be happy. But she would sit in the temple room 2 hours chanting japa. And when she was very old, so they made her room just upstairs, top of the kitchen, because she said, I want to cook. Still, she was like quite old. It took like half an hour for her to go down to the kitchen from the steps. And she said, I'll just sit here, look at the knife, look at the vegetable, meditating that I'm still cooking. That's a devotee. She didn't give up serving Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada said, till he was in the bed, dead bed, and he's still preaching. You can see the videos. They asked Prabhupada, can we record you when you're leaving the body? He said, yes, I want to show the world how to die. Even at the time of death, I am preaching Krishna consciousness. Because he was so satisfied preaching about Krishna. This is what gives a sannyasi happiness. You see, sannyasi, they're always traveling. Narada Muni is the highest traveler. He doesn't need to go to the travel agent. He has the universal visa. He goes planet to planet. He was cursed by Daksha not to be in one place more than 3 days. And he was very happy with that, because he didn't want to be more than 3 days anywhere. What gives you happiness is when you Krishna Katha, when you talk about Krishna. And Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, my devotees are happy dwelling and discussing about me. There's a verse that says that. So here, the story of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is easily pleased. He is also a universal manager. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer. He's so strong, so powerful. This is what we have to develop, like the characteristics like Lord Shiva. Don't be attached to anything. It comes and goes. There's so much talk about this and that. Your glow that comes from your body, effulgent, it comes from chanting. It comes from our loyalty to Prabhupada. It comes from surrendering to Krishna. Because that effulgent, Prabhupada was walking in New York, and some people, they're not devotees, they said, look at that person, he's glowing. Actually, even ordinary devotees have that glow. But it will all go if you offend the Vaishnava. Your body becomes dark. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he embraced Jagai Madhai And he is known as Golden Avatar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the same color as Radharani, golden. But momentarily his body turned dark because he observed the sin of Jagai Madhai. It was so great. Their sin was so much that even the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu momentarily turned dark. It's mentioned. So our glow, the effulgent, we all have that. That comes from chanting Hare Krishna. That comes from surrendering to Krishna, to Prabhupada. But that will going to disappear when you make offense to a Vaishnava. Whatever it is, we have to be very vigilant of maintaining our Krishna consciousness, to preserving our Krishna consciousness, advancement in Krishna consciousness, to go forward in spiritual life. We don't want to go backward. Go forward means whatever it is their necessity in life to progress in spiritual life, we're willing to do that. Sacrifice anything. It's not our job to find fault. Do what is necessary to serve Krishna. Like you clean the floor. So one area looks clean, then you throw the dust somewhere else, at a clean place, even though it's not a bin. This is what they do in India. They clean the floor and then they throw on the side. Or, you have to throw in an allocated place where the bin is. They don't have a bin system. So we want to become Krishna conscious. On the other hand, we make offenses. So then there's no balance. It's like if you just nearly going to, you're going to do an exam, like Bhakti Shastra exam or a disciple course exam, right? And you're going to pass it, you already know it. Halfway there, and you feel, oh, it's too much for me, and then you leave. That's what you do. So when you offend the Vaishnava, then he become a dark person. That's called taken away. It's like putting a fire, like a metal inside the water. It goes shh, gone. It's not hot anymore. The purity is the force. If you want to be pure in Krishna consciousness, keep it pure. You have to stay in the fire of devotional service. You take it all out, that metal, hot. You touch anything, so hot. But you put in the fire will be gone. You have to be very careful. If you want to make spiritual advancement, if you want to serve Krishna, if you want to go back to Godhead, if you want to please the Vaishnava, you have to avoid offenses like we do every morning in the temple after we say the 10 offenses to the holy name. Guru Aparad, Vaishnava Aparad. These are all offenses to the holy name also. Dham Aparad. It eliminates our service. So that glow of Krishna consciousness, happiness of Krishna consciousness is there in all of us if you want to pursue the service. But you can put it all out in the water quickly. That's why we have to be like Lord Shiva. Vaishnava Nam Jata Sambhu. He is the highest Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. Why is it said that? We are after material things all the time. We are running after money, running after women, running after, you name it, all the material things, food. Our tongue is always, he is going over the fence like a cow. They have big tongue. Have you seen it? You hold a chapati, don't give them. The tongue will come this high because they want it. So our sense is like that. It's always pulling to enjoyment. You have to pull it back. You can't cut it. You have to discipline yourself. That's why Rupa Goswami said, We're talking about it. One who can control the urges of the senses, he is eligible to make disciples all over the world. And sometime, like 8 o'clock at night, you're just about to go to sleep, and they come with a hot pizza. It's a big temptation. They think, I have to get up. I'm not going to be able to digest it. You've got to see the consequences. You can eat it, go for it. But then, you're not going to be able to sleep at night. You have indigestion. And that cheese is really hard to digest, cooked cheese. That's why in India we eat paneer. It's easier to digest. It's okay if you're eating it in the middle of the day, but you eat at night, that late at night. It's all temptations. You have to know what are the consequences. It's going to disrupt my service to Krishna. I'm going to fall asleep when I'm chanting japa. So you have to avoid. You have to sacrifice your enjoyment for the higher cause. Isn't it? That's not time for it. That's called disciplinary. Okay, this is going to please me, this talking, this, that. Give up that. Associate with people who can inspire you in Krishna consciousness. Even amongst us. I have so many friends in ISKCON. I've been a devotee from my childhood. Heaps of friends. Every country I have friends. You name every country. I'm getting invitation all the time. But I go where devotees inspire me in serving Krishna. I associate with devotees who inspire me in spiritual life, even though they're close to me. We have to be very selective when it comes to serving Krishna. You see, Krishna has so many gopis, but Radharani is Krishna's topmost. We never had any picture of Radha Krishna separate. They're never separated. They're always, because she can't live without Krishna. And Krishna is the same. And then the Astasakhi 8 gopis, they're the next batch of the gopis that are close to Krishna. So there is selectiveness that Krishna chooses to be. So we have to do the same way. We want to associate with people who can inspire us in spiritual life. Even though they may be close to you, you can avoid them. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they are the highest devotees of Krishna. They are so wealthy. They gave it up. They were so wealthy. It is mentioned that the Goswamis, the Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were as wealthy as the Kuvera, the heavenly, in the heavenly planet, where the cashier of the heavenly planet. But they gave it up to be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tuchavat, they spat it out like one spits it out. So what it is that gives one so much pleasure? That pleasure is sukha, is very subtle, spiritual pleasure. And they have it. Srila Prabhupada has it. We are trying to aspire for that. We don't really have it. But there is. So why we are walking around morose? Because we are blocking that happiness coming from Krishna due to offenses. It blocks. Just like if you have a long-standing friend, you can hurt them. They say in English, burning the bridges, right? He burned the bridges. I burned so many bridges. One of my friend, very close friend, Gujarati boy, we're from Hong Kong. We worked together for many years, and when I went to Hong Kong, I was many years ago. Tamal Krishna Maharaj sent me there. So he was only a young boy. Suddenly we became a really good close friend, and we did all the service together. And the temple didn't have any enough space, so I used to go and stay at their home every day. People live there, very small places. So one day, he was still going to school, and when he finished school, he had to go to work. One guy said, "I want your son," and so he went to go to work. And then I said, I want to be with you. Because I don't want to be here at the temple every day. And it's all the Chinese devotees. I want to be with someone close to me. So then I got pulled into the company to work with him. So they said, I need the same office. So where he is, there's so many rooms. So I said, I want to be in the same room as he is. So they had a table, so he would be facing me, I would facing him. We had this like affection for each other, maybe from past life. So then he got married, and he had to spend time with his family. So I said, I'm sorry, I can't. He told me, I can't be with you anymore because I have family. I said, okay, fine. So I went to China. I was in Hong Kong. And I got very busy with work and different things. And so I forgot about him. So I still go there. So he just called me a few days ago. He said that ISKCON Hong Kong wants him to be a manager, like help out. And he said, no, I don't want to. I said, you have to, like take up the responsibility. And so I preached to him. So the point I'm trying to say is, sometimes you have to do things for a higher cause that will please Krishna. The things that please Krishna, we have to give up what we like and do things that what pleases Guru, pleases Krishna. And the Guru and Krishna are going to say, oh, you were too attached to that, you're serving me, you should have done it before. No, they are not like that. So Krishna created, you can be in the family and serve Krishna still. You can be a brahmachari, you can have pizza, you can have a better kitchen in the ashram. He didn't say give it all up. It's not easy, you're not living in the Himalaya. But if you do living in Himalaya, you're expected to live austere life. But here, so there's standard. But the point is, we have to be Krishna consciousness in the middle of whatever we have. Underneath, we are attached to Krishna. Externally, we are surrounded by these things. But we know that these things are not actually make me happy, even though surrounded. But underneath, we know that what pleases Krishna is the highest thing. So, it's all external. So that's why we have to be like Ashutosh, like Lord Shiva. Prabhupada gives the example of Lord Shiva. He's not like a demigod, ordinary demigod. He's actually a devotee. Lord Shiva always wanted to go to Vrindavan and enter the gopis. But he was stopped by the gopis because he took actually form of a gopi, like a Mataji. He's wearing a sari and stuff. He's men. And he was trying to go into the gopis' pastimes. And the other gopis, they could detect him. This guy, he's not real. So they said, you can stay in Vrindavan, but you can be a guard, chokidar, like a gopishchara. Right? That's that story. He can guard Vrindavan, the pastimes of Krishna. So they have a place in Vrindavan, at the gate of Vrindavan, this Lord Shiva is guarding Vrindavan. See, he's always attracted to Krishna, Lord Shiva. He's not attracted. That's what I was trying to say, that the real attraction for a devotee is coming from serving Krishna, not anything material. You can have a planet like Dhruva Maharaj, like Sudama Vipra. Sudama Vipra, when he came back, his house was transformed into a golden palace. He was not very happy with that. He didn't even ask Krishna for material things. His wife asked him to ask Krishna to give material things. He forgot to ask. But Krishna knows. He said, I'm not going to live in this palace. I want to live like before, in a hut. You live there. And he was living in a hut, chanting Hare Krishna. So like that, we can have a very beautiful temple, but it is all for Krishna. It's for his pleasure. Sometimes we cook big offering I haven't seen any temple in the world they offer pizza to Krishna, because we don't offer the cheese from outside. Apparently here they allowed. So I love doing it. So when I cook on the days that I cook once a week, I cook an offering, a 640 offering, I make all this pizza. I'm sure Radha Vallabha don't mind. And somehow, half of my time takes up making the pizza. It's austere making it. So many trays. And so, if we do things for Krishna's pleasure, it's very pleasing, isn't it? You have to see what is the goal behind of our enjoyment. Prabhupada says Sunday feast. You can have Sunday feast. Halwa, puri, sweet rice. And nobody in Melbourne eats halwa or sweet rice and puri. They say puri is too oily, sweet rice too much, is too sweet, halwa is too much butter. But our time, we only got once a year. So you are developing love for Krishna because you're losing the taste for material things. So here, sometimes you have a lot of opulent, but you get tired of all this opulent. You want to live a simple life, isn't it? I grew up in a village, and I'm hankering to live in a village. I'm sick and tired of living in big cities. Whole life I've been living in the cities. I lived in Paris, I lived in London, I lived a little bit in Los Angeles, not what's going on now. I lived in Sydney for 10 years. I lived here, all the big cities in the world. Sick and tired. I want to live in a forest with cows and village life. And Krishna himself is tired of living in a city like Dwarka. His favorite place is Vrindavan, with cowherd boys, Gopala. Govinda, Gopala. It's associated with cows. You're only going to get cows in the forest. Krishna loves village life. We don't want to live palace and all opulent things. You get tired of living opulent life. You see, all the elderly people in Australia, they live in the countryside. And there are young people in the city. When they get old, they get tired of this. They want to go away from. So we want to live a simpler life, simple living, high thinking. With all the material things, you will not be happy. But less you take, more happy you will be. I wish I didn't have to eat. Then I didn't have to cook. We could just sing and dance all day. Then there will be no problem. People are hungry in Africa. No hunger. What do you call that? A famine. People are so hungry. The kids are dying from malnutrition. The problem is solved. Actually, spiritual body, you don't need to eat because it's spiritual. They don't need to drink water because they're thirsty. But here, if you cut your food, all the food industries will go broke. So it's all business. That's why they don't like the Hare Krishnas, because we don't eat meat, alcohol, the beverages. They lose out. But we don't need these things because we have a higher taste. We can chant Hare Krishna all day and night. Just like the other day, Nirjala Ekadashi. A couple of days ago, we had the Nirjala Ekadashi. Even the day before, I was thinking, oh no, Nirjala Ekadashi tomorrow. My mind was already disturbed. The day I haven't even approached yet. And the next morning, I couldn't chant. I was thinking, how am I going to fast all day? Not even water. But then you do it, and it was already 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you're okay. You chant japa, you're fine. It's all in the mind. That you need this, you need that. Man mein hai. Your mind. So that's why Krishna says, you have to go over these things. You have to rise above. Rise above. Look into the divine, spiritualness, to bhakti. higher things. But we all are looking down. And that's the problem is. Oh, you're this, oh, you're that. Nagging with each other. Be happy what Krishna give you. We're giving this Bhagavatam class here. The temple's not packed with us. But if you, everyone here, your whole family, crazy to come in the temple every day, some people have 5 kids, 3 kids. If 10 family with a lot of kids, temple will be full. But we are complaining, so many things. Come to temple, sit down, listen to class, take prasadam together. Then you see, the joy is there. But when it comes to complaining, we're good at it. Like the other day I was saying, I come here, every day I come here around 7 o'clock, 7:30. And there's a couple doors way here, there's a dog there. Row, 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 row. Like I jumped back because I didn't even know this dog was there. Every time, rah, 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 and it happens every day and I forget. So we can bark as much as you want. Unless we love for Krishna, genuine love for Krishna, we're simply barking at each other. That's all that's going on. Be satisfied what Krishna give you. Develop love for Krishna. Where is the tears in our eyes when we chant Hare Krishna? Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Is our hair standing on end? Okay, I have not shaved, I have a lot of hair, but it never stood up when I'm chanting. It didn't stand up. I understand you don't have hair, it doesn't stand up. But Mataji's hair, he's chanting Hare Krishna, your hair is supposed to stand up. Your hair didn't stand up. And tears coming from eyes like torrents of rain. Not even one drop, what about rain? But when it comes to complaining, like the dog down there. Every time I come, but I'm trying to be spiritual and think, maybe he's chanting Hare Krishna. You can ask the dog, I'm not chanting Hare Krishna. You're disturbing me. So we need to develop spiritual qualities deep in our heart. Shushukam kartamabhayam. Every time you chant Hare Krishna, are you loving it? Every time you're doing kirtan, you're loving it. Even if the hair doesn't stand and end, doesn't matter. You can keep chanting. It will stand. But we're not showing it. Maybe it is standing. You just get the super glue. What do you call that? Gel. Because I had to go to work in Hong Kong. We were pretty young and handsome and stuff. And so I had to go to an exhibition, a jewelry show. It's like international. All over the world they come to exhibit diamonds and other jewelries. I was selling that. So me and my friend I was talking about, we didn't wear a tie. So our boss said, go back home and come back, wear a tie. I said, okay. We had to go back and wear a tie and come back. I had to put gel in our hair so it's all like shiny and stuff. It's not really fun. Not like chanting Hare Krishna. So, hair doesn't stand on end, but genuinely we have to have love for Krishna in the deep in our heart. Yeah. I know my hair stands on end from the cold. When it's really cold, our hair is standing on end. Not from chanting Hare Krishna. So, we have to try to be like Ashutosh, like Lord Shiva. Develop the character of a Vaishnava. Even if it's not, we have to be at least try it. Make an effort. There's one guy, he's an American guy, he goes around giving lecture. He has a website called Effortless. So I told him in his face, everybody have to work, there's no effortless, you have to make an effort. Nothing comes easy. He says effortless. Just think, it will come. I said, when you sit down to eat, it doesn't fall on your plate. You have to make an effort to cook, get it from the supermarket. Not effortless. That's his website, effortless. So Krishna says, the labor of love. It's not that you sit down, everything boom, boom, boom comes. You don't need to chant 16 rounds because you can put a machine, it will chant 16 rounds for you, and a computer. No, he wants to see general chanting, genuine, manually. Pick up the beat, chant. Do service. So it's not like it's a quick process, easy. Because Lord Shiva has it. Lord Shiva, he knows that there is so much bliss, bliss in chanting Hare Krishna. Associating the gopis, their love for Krishna. Gopis, they all have a husband, but they're always running after Krishna. There's no time to be with husband. They're married. But it's conjugal. This is spiritual world, it's different than here. Krishna just looks at them. He's satisfied. He can glance. Krishna's glance is enough to satisfy everyone. That's why if you look at Radha Vallabha, you will think, oh, just ordinary statue. But not what Scripture says. So if you go to Vrindavan, it's not what it says in the book. It's all pigs and cows and buffaloes and all that. So horrible. And donkeys. It's not so many donkeys. People are more donkey than the donkeys. Everyone is, just crazy there. I wanted to go to Loy Bazaar. It took me half an hour. The rickshaws, you can't go, it's just so crowded. So my friend said, jump on the scooter. So we went, we're there. And I went to Vrindavan, 1975. 2 rupees from the temple. Now is 100 rupee to get to Loy Bazaar. Just only, you can walk it for maybe half an hour. Chant japa. So when you go to Vrindavan, you're not seeing Vrindavan like it is mentioned in the books. What is actually Vrindavan? Lotuses, you can drink water from the Jamuna, and lotus, and the cows, and all the trees, Kadamba tree. I didn't even see any Kadamba tree. Only in the books it's mentioned. If I want to see some trees, I have to go way, way out there at the Varshana area. Even there, there's hardly any trees. It's all dried. So you have to see Krishna in the vision. Vipralampa, in the separation. We're not going to be here every day in the temple all day, but you have to see Krishna in your heart. So this description of Lord Shiva in the book, I haven't seen him. Some people say, oh, that's mythology. I haven't seen Lord Shiva. It's all about a talk only. Oh, yeah, many years ago. I met Prabhupada, I'm his disciple. You haven't seen, I didn't see him. There's a murti sitting there. But he's there. You can talk to someone who's been there or seen him. Similarly, all there in the books. It's not what you see, it's what's in the books, in the scriptures. It's a description of the Shastra chakshus. It sees through the eyes of the scriptures. Physically you can't see. It doesn't mean they don't exist. You can't see air, but you can feel it. Vipralampa, the feelings of love, you have to develop that in your heart. You have to develop love of why Lord Shiva is so crazy to be in the Leela of Krishna. Because he has found that love that we don't have. We are looking for it, but we don't have it. But like I said before, you're in the middle of exam, just about to pass the exam, that's too much for me. And then you give up. You have to walk through all the way. Lifetime of service. Maybe just before you die, Krishna Prem, Agya, I got it. Whole life you didn't. Every day you get up, you say, no, today I'm not going to eat. First thing you eat, right? You nag your mother, give me a sandwich. It's easy for mothers these days. They just buy sandwiches. They don't even cook anymore. And these kids are so spoiled. They don't want roti, paratha. They want sandwich. Like an Englishman. So anyway, so everything, you have to develop that taste deep in your heart. Not simply a talk. Talk is cheap. Come here. You sit down in the temple. You can have millions of temples, but we have one existing temple here and hardly anyone here. Isn't it? I talk so many things. I've been to a small temple in Gujarat. And it was so small. A Shiva temple. And they said, wait a minute, just wait. In half an hour, the temple's going to be packed. I said, no, wait, there's nobody around. By the time they opened the curtain, I was getting squashed in between the people. And no one was complaining. They were trying, oh, Bhagwanji, they're saying the deity, name of the deity. All people, they don't care. They said, we will die for Krishna. My point is that they have so much affection. They don't care how to serve Krishna wherever it is, any condition. We are looking for a very comfortable, like everybody has their area to sit down, a wall with a seat. No, they didn't care. There was no seat. They all standing, all people, young people, everybody. And they had food in their hand to offer to the deity. You couldn't actually hold the food in front of you because there's no space. They're holding it like this. Even I had. I said, wow, you're right. But everyone is totally satisfied because the love goes beyond space. Love is beyond space. This is my point. So Lord Shiva has a planet, but he's living with the ghost, a small place. So try to see, understand how we can serve Krishna in any condition, but be happy in serving Krishna. Okay, any questions? Try to connect with the philosophy and purports. Yes? Lord Shiva. You mean Lord Shiva?
Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
So, is there any scriptural reference to that? A scriptural reference?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's Shiva Purana there.
Okay. So
Big book. Shiva Purana. It's all about Lord Shiva.
Okay.
You can get that book.
Yeah.
Actually, it is mentioned that we do yoga pose. It's also designed by Lord Shiva.
Sorry, what is
Before Patanjali, Lord Shiva designed the yoga pose.
that? Yoga post.
Yeah.
All the yoga, all the asana.
Yeah. So he narrowed it. So Patanjali, he wrote thousands of yoga poses. And it's mentioned Lord Shiva, he also designed it. He took that and he made it 80 pose, primary pose. And from that, you can take what is most important pose for your health. So Lord Shiva, there's Shiva Purana, the descriptions there about Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada mentioned here, in the Brahma Samhita, Kshiram Dadi, there's a verse, it says that Lord Shiva is known as the yogurt. We eat yogurt.
Yeah.
And Krishna is known as milk.
Yeah.
Because, so he's comparing Krishna as milk because from milk you can make many things. Once it's in the form of a milk, then you can make burfi, you can make sweet rice, so many, even yogurt. But once it's milk, turned into yogurt, it's very limited. You can make lassi, a few other things. But if it's milk, you can make, so Krishna is considered like milk. But, so Lord Shiva, he is like a demigod, but he's also Vaishnava. So he is not unlimited like Krishna. But still, yogurt is a very important aspect of the milk product. People make raita or mishti dahi, sweet yogurt, we have in Bengal, and stuff like that, or dahi vada. But if you have a milk, you can make so many things. So Krishna is like milk. So that's why it's mentioned in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma. So Lord Shiva is a great personality. And he has his own book on planet. This is not like Krishna has his planet. His devotees also have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I come from Varanasi, Kasi Vishwanath. So that is a abode of Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
And there everyone considers Lord Shiva as a supreme.
Yeah, yeah.
So how we can convince them? No, it's the other way
Well,
around.
I just explained it.
Yeah.
Milk and yogurt.
Yeah, but they are so much into that, Lord Shiva. So just giving them this example may not satisfy them. So
Yeah, but Lord Shiva, he never said that he is Bhagavan. That's why the stories are there. If you go to Vrindavan, there is Gopeshwara Shiva. He is the god to the gopis of Vrindavan, at the gate of the Vrindavan. Yeah. So he is always aspiring to be one of the gopis. He wants to be devotee of Krishna. So that means, and there are so many verses where Lord Shiva says Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he didn't, even like Jesus Christ, he's Son of God. He didn't say, I'm God. But people say he's God. So like that, Lord Shiva, he's worshipping Krishna. Brahma bole chadurmukhe. He said, Hare Krishna. There's a song. He has beads. He's chanting name of Ram and Krishna. So he's himself demonstrating that Krishna is the supreme, that he is the supreme, but he has a quality equal to Krishna almost. So a percentage of the character of Krishna. Krishna has like hundreds. Lord Shiva may have 60. So it doesn't make him God, but he can be godly, like close, like that. Sometime Prabhupada explained in the Bhagavatam, Brahma or Shiva as God, Bhagavan Uvacha. They are representative, you can call them as such, but at our respect, like Mr. or Sir or whatever, but doesn't mean they are God. They themselves demonstrated that.
Yeah.
So you can explain it. Yeah.
Sure. Jai, thank you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how when we're with Krishna, we can be happy. But sometimes we see with the people around us, like at school or our neighbors, they're always like happy, like they're always smiling. And you can't really see any stress or difficulty on their faces. And they're always bringing the good for others. So how can we understand that without Krishna and devotional service, they're so happy?
Yeah, materialistic people are also happy. But it's just like it is explained, Krishna explains that spiritual happiness and material happiness are two different things. So it's short-term, it's temporary happiness. But how do you know they're actually happy? They may be just faking, or like, that's it. They have that plastic smile, like a machine. Hello. And then devotees have the real happiness. You can tell people who are really happy, this shukkha, the spiritual happiness, that it's very different than just some material happiness, like material pleasure. Any pleasure, material pleasure, is very short term. They suffer afterward. So people come here, they're happy because they're in the temple. They're chanting Hare Krishna, they're the devotees. But once they go home, they close the door, I had enough, I had enough of this world. But we don't really know, we're not making any definition. But generally speaking, that you see, devotees are very poor, but they're always happy. Not just us, we're not talking about us. In the scriptures, the Pandavas, they were actually homeless. They didn't have any home, but they were happy because they were with Krishna. And so many, like I said, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they had so much wealth, but they gave it all up because they want to be Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is it that they're so happy to be with him, giving up all their material wealth? Because that pleasure is different. So sometimes we see people going around, very happy. You see boys, girls, this, they're happy. But they don't know what is unhappiness. You read about it in Africa, there's no food to eat, there is no water to drink, and there's so much war going on. So what's your definition of happiness? It's not just they're smiling for a few minutes, but then next minute they're unhappy. Happiness and distress. The happiness has to be a spiritual happiness. That you may go around like very unhappy, but underneath they're happy. It's not an external thing. I go around, but underneath they're satisfied. Isn't it? You see me all the time, I'm like, people don't come near me. But I'm happy inside. I'm not saying Hare Krishna. I don't go around all day, hey, here I am. But there is time for, you can exhibit your happiness, but it's not like you need to go around like some showcase. But devotees are happy, for sure, in the deep down. But if you're not happy, that's your problem. You're not, like I said, up the honey jar, you're leaking outside the jar. But it may be some person opened the jar before and some fell on the side, you're drinking that. So, very nice. But unless you really want to know more of it, then you have to experience it more deeply. But it's not for us to determine who is happy, who is not. Hey, you're not smiling. You're smiling, you're happy. No, we don't know. It's a spiritual thing. We can judge that according to their spiritual standing. Every day they're chanting, they're regular, they're steady. That shows that they're relishing it. Not like today I'm happy, tomorrow happy. No, that's up and down. That's not it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.